Welcome back to my backyard snack yard on a very beautiful sunny day here in Dorset. As you can see, my beautiful blueberries are still covered because they are still fruiting lots and still slowly ripening in the sun. And so I just stick my hand in whenever there's some blue ones and pick them. And this way they don't get eaten by birds in the meantime, because usually the birds come around and just pick them all off while they're still sort of red, just for fun. Today I thought it'd be really nice to have a look at some of my favorite things to grow. I think I say that about all plants. I just love them all, but I do really enjoy herbs in particular. They're just so versatile and I use them every day. So I thought I'd have a look at some, but just first look at the pepino melon. It has grown so big. This is its third year in the garden, because I overwinter it, and it's already so full of wonderful pepino melons, which are going to turn beautiful yellow with these purple stripes and be super sweet. There's so many of them. They almost look a bit like little round aubergines, and of course they are so closely related, so that makes sense. But let's move on. Oh yes, so over here next to it we have the smaller of the two tomatillas I've got. I tried to grow lots from seed, but they didn't all make it. I think I started them too early, but these ones are doing well. This is the smaller one, and then the larger one is over here, and it's really gotten loads of branches, and the first little tomatillas are coming too. See, the flowers are sort of intertwining, interweaving the apple tree. They're so pretty and so big. They're much bigger flowers than the regular Physalis peruviana I already have, or the Cape gooseberry. Really lovely things. Look how big it's gotten. It's more over here. Definitely the bigger one is poking its way out of the apple tree that way too. Very clever. But yes, we're going to look at herbs today, and this one is right next to it. These are lemon verbena. They are so wonderful. My sister makes this wonderful lemonade, and I thought we'd pick some today and make some too. They grow really, really big, and these two, I've got two in two different pots right here. They are in quite a shaded spot, but they're still doing really well. Eventually they'll flower, but I think the leaves themselves are what we're after, and I think they taste better before the plant starts flowering. So we'll pick a few. What I do is, I have picked a few in the past, and I thought that would make the branch, I picked them from sort of branch out, and it has done. See, look, I picked this one here, for example, down here, and it has really branched out. So by picking them and using them, we're just making more, which is wonderful. It's a really productive plant, and honestly, just being down here and playing with it makes this amazing perfume waft out. It's just such a summery scent. I think it's used a lot in like things to keep mosquitoes away, and so it really reminds me of summer and summer holidays. But we'll just pick some and make some wonderful lemon verbena lemonade. I'll get my scissors. I just wanted to show you this aspect of the garden too. It's so colourful. We're getting some little beautiful balloon flowers popping here very soon. And then even higher up, the sunflowers, the tallest of them all, are really reaching for the sun there. I think these are meant to be black ones. I sowed a whole bunch of different colours. I got some red ones and really bright yellow ones, sunset ones, and black ones as well. So I think these are black ones. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we're going to find the biggest ones just to pick, because then it can grow out loads more. And honestly, it just is a really fast growing weed. When I first got my two plants, because I had seen them so much in France, I just really wanted some myself, then my sister was like, beware, they grow enormous. But for me that's a bonus, because it just means more of the wonderful herb. Let's get some. Let's go find those little ones I just cut. And if you don't cut them, they'll probably go a bit woody. These ones are nice and tender and beautiful because I recently pruned them. And when I say prune, I mean I cut them and used them. All right, get a few of these. Got quite a bit there. Let's have a look. Honestly, if you have not smelled lemon verbena before, it's just the most amazing, fresh, gorgeous, lemony scent. So delightful. I've also seen people make sorbet with it, and I bet that tastes delicious too. Once I get some more space in my freezer, it's kind of getting full of all kinds of things, including berries. But if I get any more space, I might try to make some too. But this is going to be extra nice, this wonderful lemonade on a hot day. We're in the middle of a wonderful heat wave. It's just heating up again here. Super delicious weather, sort of getting up to 30 degrees Celsius. Yay! My apples are rosying up too. They'll be ready about September, so they get really big and red. So I got all the lemon verbena nicely rinsed off just to get rid of any dust and allow any little insects to escape. And then I boiled a kettle. I'm just going to fill this up with some freshly boiled water. And we're actually making a kind of tea, really. It's maybe more of an iced tea than anything else. So we'll cover that with a lid and allow it to steep for 20 minutes. And meanwhile, we have a look at some of my other herbs. So over here, I've got a little collection. Down here, I've got one called a cola plant. It has this really amazing scent. It smells like those sweets called cola bottles or even Coca-Cola. And it's said to be really good for rubbing on meats like chicken and things before cooking them and add something extra to them. I also like putting them in drinks because they just have that wonderful scent to them. Really, really, really a fragrant herb. So much fun. It just looks really pretty too. It looks a bit like a cosmos, but it hasn't got any flowers to it. And I got this as a tiny little sprig a few years ago now, and it just really grows big. And of course, like all other herbs, you can just really prune them a lot and get them growing bigger and better all the time. Next to it, we have down here, we've got this wonderful pineapple mint, which is just a fantastic one that really grows so fast like all other mints. And it has that really tropical fragrance of pineapple, just a really fresh one with a hint of mint too. So it's really nice. I also like using it in little posies with pink roses. It's right next to a pink rose bush here. And yeah, that rose bush is usually full of roses. And these little green stripy leaves just look so pretty with them, I think. And here we have a rosemary. It's really well picked because I use it all the time. I love it. And actually, I find it's not the easiest thing to grow here because I find that it gets really drenched during our winters that of course are very wet, and it doesn't like that, and then it can kind of have root rot. But this one I overwintered in my greenhouse, which is where everything seems to thrive over winter, because I could keep it quite dry, of course. Then I could just decide how much water it got, and that way it never got waterlogged and it didn't get frozen. I think they're quite hardy though, but it's just the wet winters we have it doesn't like, so I think it's a good idea to keep it somewhere where you can keep it relatively dry. Up here we have just a regular mint. It's gone to flower, very pretty and really beloved by bees. And then here we have one which is called a strawberry mint, also gone to flower, and it has a really distinctive strawberry scent, which is so sweet and actually really nice in this special drink that we have here in England called Pims and lemonade, if you know it. It's like a punch and you add lots of fruits to it, especially, well, you add strawberries for sure, that's quite traditional, and also adding slices of cucumbers, which I always thought was funny at first, but really is nice, really refreshing. And then a bit of mint is also nice, and this one of course is perfect because it has that extra strawberry flavor in it. It's a lovely mint, really pretty with the flowers too. And actually in between we have a more wild herb. It is called Good King Henry, And he's gone to seed. I've let him go to seed because I want to collect the seeds and grow more of them and have like quite a big pot of them. It's a sort of a wild spinach-like herb, and it tastes really good, especially the tender leaves taste really delicious. And you're supposed to be able to divide them from down in the crown, but mine's quite a young plant. I think I could divide it in the autumn. But yeah, it's a really nice spinach-like wild herb. Delicious. And here we have, these are actually spring onions from the supermarket. And when I get them, I just snip off the lower bits where the roots are and pot them up, and then they shoot up again. And these spring onions are bigger and better than the original ones you get in the supermarket. They're a lot bigger, as you can tell, and they just have a stronger oniony flavor because it's so fresh. Next to it is an apple mint. It looks just like the pineapple mint, but I have checked and it smells slightly different, I think. But yeah, it's called a variegated apple mint. And we have a regular basil over here, which I don't know, has gotten eaten by something, but you can still use it. I still use all the leaves, even though they're a bit tattered and eaten slightly. I just wash them off to make sure there's no little bugs in them. That's a lovely mint. I love mint. And this is one of my favorites here. This is coriander. I even like letting them go to seed because the seeds are so spicy. The little green ones, really delicious. But this one is not that mature yet. Hopefully it'll grow a bit more. I do keep picking them all the time, so they don't have much chance to grow too big, but they're delicious. Oh, here we have lemon balm. It has somehow spread all over the garden because it does go to flower. See, flowers there, and then they just spread far and wide. So it's popping up everywhere, but it has a really distinctive, beautiful smell too. I just love, oh, these herbs are just so fragrant. Let's move on a little bit. Oh, we've got, this is a Fuchsia boliviana, one of the many I grew from seed. Here is a big fig, which is getting kind of thirsty. And here is my English one. It's not English, it's called brown turkey, but it was grown from one, there was a cutting in my neighbor's garden, and it is full of little brebas, which aren't getting too big, but hopefully they'll get a bit bigger, and hopefully they'll ripen as well. If not, I will make a syrup, as someone suggested here, or a jam actually. I have a whole bunch of cosmos here. I just wanted to show them to you because you can see what I meant by saying that the cola plant looked a lot like cosmos. These ones are just about to finally flower. It's so pretty, so bushy, so happy this year. Oh, and look, some of the first purple peas are starting. I grew mostly green peas and I kind of mixed them up a bit because I was running out of purple ones. So there are lots of really ripe green ones here, which I've been picking constantly and really enjoying. Another little bunch of herbs. This is actually the thyme collection that I potted up a little while ago. And we have the creeping red thyme, which is flowering now, so pretty. It would be a beautiful one to have as a ground cover. Maybe I will put some in the ground at some point. But as you can see, my ground is quite weedy, and those weeds do take over quite a bit. And then we have the mixture here with lemon curd thyme. I've been trying to get rid of the flowers, deadhead them, so that we can get lots of new growth as well. And we have orange thyme here, and lemonade thyme. And finally we have just regular lemon thyme too. And then over here we have common thyme. So just a bunch of them. It's wonderful, wonderful herbs. And actually in this pot over here, there's another one that I do occasionally pick. It's wood sorrel. It has beautiful, dainty little flowers, which I think are coming up now again. Some little flower buds there. They're super pretty when they come up. And the little leaves themselves that look like clover, they have this really sweet, gentle, sour flavor, like a bit like lemon. Some there too. Really cute. We're underneath a little baby Christmas tree, pine tree I should say. I also have a bunch of sunflowers. It's a whole little plantation, and they're going to be sort of camouflaging my bins, because the bins are full and they're just rotting down, so I can spread all the goodness throughout the garden in the autumn. So we can just camouflage them now and not use them for another few months. But right next to it, we have something very exciting. This is an old water feature that my in-laws didn't need anymore because it broke. And actually it has a hole somewhere, but that's perfect for drainage because I want to plant up these extra herbs I have. And then I just thought having a hole would be ideal because we need drainage when we've got plants. This first one here is a really pretty one and a really interesting one I hadn't heard of before. It reminded me of stevia, which my parents have had, and that's like a herb that produces really, really sweet, sweet, sweet leaves. This one is supposed to also be sweet. It's called an Aztec sweet herb. And I actually thought we'd use some of the leaves today, pick a bit of this and add it to our lemonade and see what kind of sweetness we get from it. So I got 2 of those because I was so excited by them, and they have really pretty little flowers too. I'm going to get a big mixture of soil in a minute and just pot these guys up, nestle them in here so they can grow as big as possible. The next few months is like prime growing time. And then here next to it we have one which I also thought sounded really interesting and smells super good, and it is a black currant mint. And it's just amazing how these mints, they all just smell so much like their names. So this one really does smell of black currants, which also would be really fun in a tea or drink or lemonade, black currant lemonade. And finally over here we have the one I like the most of the 3, and this is basil mint. Honestly, it looks a bit like basil, and it just does taste a lot like basil with a twist of mint in it. And it's supposed to grow so much better than basil. This one has definitely not been eaten like my basil has, but that could be the position. But yeah, I mean, mint does grow so well and so fast, like a weed pretty much. So it's really a positive thing, and I would love to have lots of this basil. It's supposed to have flowers at some point later on in the year, so we'll see. I think once I've got it into this little area, it will just spread out and probably flower at some point. It's in quite a shaded position here, so we'll see how it does, but it may well prefer that. I think mints are just so resilient, they don't really mind where they are, as long as they don't rot, and having some drainage will be a good thing. But in general, this basil mint is supposed to be more hardy than regular basil as well, just be easier to grow in our climate, which should be a big positive. I really have enjoyed using it since I gotten it, so it's also been pruned a bit, or eaten a bit, I should say. But yeah, I'll get myself a big mix of compost and get them potted in. Another herb that I so love is nasturtiums. They're the most beautiful thing, and all parts of the plant can be eaten. You can eat the leaves, the wonderful flowers, and then when the flowers go to seed, those little seeds make the best capers. You pickle them in just a simple pickle and they just taste so good. Oh my goodness. They're my absolute favorite. They're known as poor man's capers, and I so love them. So I have tried to plant them all over the garden. I've got some here with a few zinnias as well, underneath this apple tree. My golden delicious, no, it's actually it's a Granny Smith apple tree. But yeah, I've tried to fill nasturtiums into any little extra spot. There are even some in this little mixture. And there are a whole lot in these hanging baskets right outside my kitchen window. They've actually been attacked by caterpillars. This one has, at least. It's full of caterpillars the other day. So hopefully we'll see lots of little butterflies soon. This one's faring better, but it's still really nice to see lots of butterflies enjoying them, because that's what they're here for. And here's an example of one of the seeds. And here's an example of one of the seeds. You just pick those and pickle them, and they are the best things ever. I actually see quite a few here. I might have to go around and have a little pick. Among all the black fly, which seems to enjoy themselves here. Little black fly community. They're really good for growing alongside other crops that you want to keep pests off, because they really do attract pests. They're excellent for companion planting. So we're back with the Aztec sweet herb. I just want to pick a little bit of it to use in my tea or lemonade. And also get it into a better size. Look how pretty this one is though. The flowers are so pretty. There we go. And one more up here maybe. Let's have a look. There we go. It's funny because they're actually related to verbena. They're in the same family as lemon verbena. So they should go really well in that little lemonade I'm making. I wish you could smell this. It just smells so amazing. I'm just going to add the little sweet Aztec. So now it's been sitting here for about half an hour. So I'm just going to pour it into my jar here, my jug. And then put it into the fridge and let it cool down. And then we'll make our tea. Or lemonade. While waiting for the tea to cool down, we've just got the old broken water feature planted up with our wonderful herbs. And it's already being visited by little buzzy bees and pollinators, so it seems to be a success. And now the tea should just about be cool enough so we can assemble it into a really nice lemonade. So we're all set up here in the garden. It's such a beautifully warm day. It's 31 degrees Celsius at the moment, which is amazing for us. And we've got our chilled tea here, some ice cubes, freshly squeezed lemon, and maple syrup. I just thought, just in case it's not sweet enough, because the lemon will add a lot of acidity, so then the maple syrup can sort of balance that out. But let's just pour some now and have a little taste. Look at that color too. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Quite a lot of lemon. I mean, this is all just to taste, so depending on how much sour you like and how much sweet you like. I just need to stir it around quickly. That was so refreshing, just what you need on a hot day. Really, really wonderful, and it brings me right back to summer days in the south of France. Hot summer days, just like we're having right now. And look at all these flowers from the garden. There's so much color going on. It's so wonderful. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.